lady.
Question number 3. Oh, it is all me. I think this is you.
I mean, I'm here to back you up.
Okay, this comes from Instagram. Oh, you said 10 best questions. Here we go. So make sure it's 5.
Wow.
5.
Look
Probably
at me.
Old,
yeah, I'm slipping
caption.
up. Slipping up.
Okay, so this is from Instagram. The handle is a dog and 3 cats. The question is, question number 3, what is the best way to introduce a fearful dog to new people?
That comes up all
the time.
Either like fearful dogs to dogs or fearful dogs to people. And I'm so fascinated with what you're going to come up with.
Well, I pretty much say everything you taught me, so I'm pretty sure you know what.
So we're done with this answer. Question number 4. No, because I like hearing it come from you, though.
Oh, okay.
You filter it a different way and have some different stuff.
So the short answer is, what's the best way? Is to not do it. So that's the short answer. Is that what you would have said?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So fearful dogs don't need to be introduced, like forced introduced to new people, because they're not comfortable with it. So what I would say is that if your goal, like what are your goals? I think that's the thing. Like the question's really simple. So if the goal is, I want my dog to be able to exist when people come over and have him not go after them, bark, stare at them menacingly, you know what I mean? That sort of stuff.
I hate the menacing stares.
Or go in the corner and get nervous, you know, any of those things. If the question's more like that, like I don't want my dog to be doing those things, we would suggest just an overall kind of like e-collar program, because for fearful dogs that have fear stuff around people, getting them e-collar trained and actually holding them accountable to things like, say the people walk in, right, and the dog's on their dog bed barking and growling or backing up and not wanting to get close, you just correct that, bring them back and put them back in place. That would be the finish.
Some structure.
Yeah, just more structure, more accountability to some rules. It makes nervous dogs feel more comfortable. So obviously that would be final product, not just, don't just correct your dog and put them on place, but spend some time, you know, going through.
You gotta train them.
Go through our DVDs or our free videos and teach, like, you know, e-collar recall, e-collar place command. You got to teach all the basics on prong first. So fearful dogs are no like walk in the park. Let's put it that way. So you have full program. Now, if you're saying like, well, my dog's fearful and I want him to go up and meet my friends when they come over. No, we don't do that. So if you have an uncomfortable friend and they're like, you know what, I'm not really into like dinner parties. Do you force them to come to your house for dinner parties, or do you get together with them one-on-one for just a nice intimate dinner between you two? Obviously, the answer is the latter, because you respect that human's boundary, you know? I think a lot of us picture like dogs the way we want to picture them is like Lassie, like, you know, why isn't my dog Lassie? Like, why doesn't he like everyone? And why can't he go up and smell them and be comfortable? And
our expectations projected onto them.
And it's just not fair. And what we see a lot are relationships between owners and dogs breaking down because of the pressure the owner, not knowingly. I know you're not thinking like
unintentionally.
But there's pressure being put on the dog by the owner that the dog doesn't appreciate, and he can't do anything about it. It's like owners walking their dog up on a leash. They're literally like on a chain, to walking them up and saying, meet this other dog. It's like forcing them into an interaction that they're not comfortable with. And then they're like, why does my dog attack other dogs on leash? Because you forced them into the situation. They took the only way. You created
high stress with an unfamiliar animal, and then you said, go have a positive outcome. Right? And I think what you're comparing it to is the same thing with human beings, right? Which for some dogs, like, that's 1,000 times worse. Right? Especially like males, like a dog that's nervous or afraid of a male, and you're like, I want my dog to be better with males. Great, so I'll make sure I walk him up, I'll put him close, and then I'll have him make sure that this guy gives him a treat. Because if a guy gives my dog a treat, he's gonna love guys. No. Most of the time, no. That's not what's going to happen. Yeah. Most of the time, like Laura was saying, if you lead, guide, and direct, and hold your dog accountable and create structure and all of this training stuff. I'm sorry, I don't mean to like hijack your thing.
I'm kind of done, to be honest.
But you did great. But like, that's how you get there, guys. Like, the real answer is what Laura first said. You don't. What you do is, who's tap dancing in there? The first thing you do is you train your dog to trust you, to guide them and lead them through this world to where they feel safe. Because what happens when you feel safe, there's a lot of stuff you can do that you wouldn't do if you wouldn't be able to do if you didn't feel safe. Yep. So once your dog buys in and is like, man, mom's got it. She doesn't let me get away with monkey business. She doesn't put me in like in the line of fire. Yeah. She takes good care of me. She, you know, if dogs are coming that are nutty, she gives me a little bit of space. If there's a human being that's like, oh, Foofy, mom's like, sorry, you can't pet my dog. Then your dog sees all that and goes like, poof, rock and roll. Yeah. What happens? Confidence starts to come up, and you might just find that your dog feels different about human beings and other dogs because you haven't put them in a place where high pressure and high stress has removed the possibility of your dog to create a new feeling, a new association, a new emotional state around those triggers. So I think that was pretty, I kind of liked what I just said. Yeah. But I think that's, well, self-congratulatory thing. I think that that's really where the answer's at. And I think you said it really nicely. And together, I think we kicked that one's butt. That's one of the most common issues that we hear all the time, and I know you get it a ton on the phone with clients, well-meaning clients.
They don't know, they just don't know.
Right?
Just like
they want to make it better.
Yeah.
They don't understand that that's not how you make it better.
Yeah, but it's so hard. I can just only imagine if you have a dog, maybe this is you, or maybe anyone else who's out there watching, and you're like, why isn't my dog XYZ? And I imagine it's the same if you have maybe if you have kids and the kid's like, why doesn't my kid love sports like me and my husband do? Or
why does my husband not like the same stuff I do?
Right.
I mean, like, there's all of these
friends, yeah. But it's really hard when you have like pressure from outside, like this is what a dog is supposed to do. But what we just see are the gamut of what shapes and sizes dogs come in. And that's why dogs are so cool, is because they do have all sorts of personality types and preferences.
Can I say something?
Okay.
The difference between the husband, the friend, the girlfriend, the whoever, is that they can tell you, I'm not into it, and I don't want to be there. The difference with your dog, they can't say it. Yeah, they just have to go tolerate whatever you put them into, which is why the pressure and the responsibility falls on you squarely, 1,000,000%.
It's so funny to me that you say that, because the dog says it louder than humans do sometimes. The humans will
they just don't say it in a regular verbal conversation.
They'll bite someone, or they'll attack a dog,
or they'll growl, or they'll stare.
Send you the emergency room or whatever. But us, we're all passive aggressive and like, oh no, I'm fine. Yeah, sure, I'll go to the dinner party. You go there all uncomfortable, and then
but you can see
you're
like
to resent, and then you're like, you know what, I don't want to hang out with that person. The person's like, what's wrong with their deal? And that's like the human dance. Yeah. But dogs are just like, rah! Show it right away.
Or they don't do this big display. They do like
small stuff.
Right? And a lot of humans don't see that stuff. And so all the lead up stuff that's right before the big, all that stuff is quiet, wide eyes, tension.
My guess is if you're asking the question, you've seen past the lead up. Because a lot of people are just like, oh, she's just shy. And then all of a sudden she bites. And you're like, oh, okay, she's not shy. She bites. People. She bites.
Anyways, let's be done with this one. I think we got some good info in that.
Okay.
Good.